Welcome, everybody, to episode 22 of Disturbed and Confused. We have Frank Oso back here with me.
I'm back.
Who is now, big announcement, my permanent co-host. Yay! And also joining us, we have a very amazingly talented man with us who's got some pretty cool gifts.
To say the least.
Chris George.
Chris George! Psychic medium Chris George. He does it all. You do psychic readings. You're a medium.
I'm a medium. That's my specialty.
Right.
I'm an exorcist. Wow. I've been all over the world doing exorcisms. I've actually done 103 of them. Yes.
Wow.
I do a lot of healing work.
Wow. I love the healing work.
Yeah, I like it. And of course, the paranormal investigating, which is the fun part of things. So.
We're going to get into all that in just a second. First, I have to do my birthday shout outs. So today we have Charlene Spellman, Diana Reed Silvar, Joe DeVito, Maximus Augustus. I loved that name when I saw that. I don't know what it is. Maximus Augustus. I love it. Anthony Kokosa, Dave Purdy, Jody Shad. Do you want to read the rest of the birthdays?
Sure. Happy birthday to Daniel DeMarco, Donato Panico.
I gave you all the hard ones.
Panico. I'm Italian. I should get that name right.
We're all Italian at this table. Hey, oh.
Mike Ellis. Happy birthday. Arthur Fierce. Sandra Sinkowitz. Wow, you weren't kidding.
No, I
got that name. I
gave you the hard ones.
I think I nailed that name. Right, Sandra?
I think you did
Sandra
too.
Sinkowitz. Winston Broadmerkel. I'm getting them all.
You're doing good. You're doing good.
Darren Dawn Morgan Lounsbury.
Yes.
Vincent Germano. Ed Swerbinski.
His
was on Monday.
Was 2 days, a couple days ago.
One of our viewers. Yeah, loyal.
Viewers.
Yes.
Nice.
He's
happy birthday, everyone.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, everybody. Yes. So, Chris George.
Yes, ma'am.
I have been trying to get you on the show for what, a month now?
About
maybe
a month.
Maybe a little bit
more.
We kept missing each other.
I'm not even sure how you found me.
I actually found you on Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah. It just happened to pop up.
Well,
and I started watching and I was like, this guy's amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah. And then I reached out and I couldn't wait to get you on the show.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's a pleasure to have you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I cannot wait to hear about the exorcisms. Like,
okay.
I would love to hear some of those stories if you don't mind.
Well, okay. Well, it started out many, many years ago. I remember the first time I did one, I didn't even know I was doing it.
Wow.
Somebody was having a problem at her dance studio and they asked me to come and check it out. I got there and I immediately knew that there was something very bad there.
Wow.
I went home that night. I called my brother-in-law at like 11 o'clock at night. And I said, you know what? I need you tomorrow. I said, we need to go to this place. I said that I think there's a very bad spirit there. He goes, is it demonic? I'm like, no, it's not demonic. And just for the record, I've done 103 exorcisms. Of the 103, I would say, honestly, maybe 3 of them would be what I would consider to be demonic. So everything you see on TV, people, is a bunch of baloney.
Yeah.
You know, like if you watch like the Ghost Adventurers and everything is demonic, it is not. That's all Hollywood. That's all for TV.
Right.
The truth is, it's most of the time it's just angry spirits, you know, stuff like that.
Right.
And like I said, I've done 103 of them in the last 20 years.
Wow. Now, at what age did you know that you were so gifted with all of this?
Well, I didn't know I was gifted. I thought I was a freak, you know. Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, I was, I guess, maybe 8 or 9 years old, maybe 10.
Wow.
And I saw a spirit. And it was in my room. It was a girl. Her name was Heather. I noticed because she told me.
Wow.
And I would see her every day. And, you know, back then, if you saw spirits, they took you to a psychiatrist because you were crazy.
Right.
I mean, now today things are much different. You know, you have, you know, being psychic is like really cool. You know, back then it wasn't. Back then you were a freak. So, you know, I had to keep it on the down low. My friends growing up had no idea. Wow. A couple of them did, but most of them had no idea.
Who was the first person you ever told?
That I was psychic?
Yeah.
I didn't consider myself psychic until about 20 years ago. Wow. 21 years ago, when my second daughter was turning 1. That's when I came out. That's when I, because a whole bunch of things happened that night. It was the night before her birthday, and I was married at the time, and I was on the phone. It was like midnight. I was on the phone with my cousin, and the way my house was, I had my living room and dining room were like together. So we had the pictures of my two daughters on this wall. There was a table, and then we had these happy birthday balloons. All right. I had never met my mother-in-law. She'd passed before I met my ex-wife. And what happened was I see a shadow of a short, heavy-set woman. And I tell my cousin, I'm like, you're not going to believe what I'm saying. And then all of a sudden, a happy birthday balloon started bouncing. One balloon. And it bounced all the way around the table and stuck to my daughter's picture.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I ran up and I grabbed my wife, and I'm like, you're not going to believe what happened. I told her. She got very emotional. She's like, oh my God, that's my mother. Okay. Then I would say a week later, I'll never ever forget this. About a week later, about 2 a.m, I'd fallen asleep on my living room couch. I was watching SportsCenter, and I wake up, and there had to be about, I'm going to say anywhere 15, I'm going to say 12 to 15 spirits. I didn't know they were spirits in front of my TV. Now, I didn't know they were spirits because I couldn't see my TV. All right. All I can see was spirits. If they're spirits, okay, you can see through them.
Right.
But that isn't how it is for me. I see them like I see you.
Wow.
And it scared the shit out of me, obviously, because I'm like, what? I thought people were in my house coming to like attack us.
Sure.
But then I realized they were from all different eras.
Wow.
And I went, oh my God. And I said, are you guys real? And I remember there was this one spirit who later became one of my guides. This one spirit is a short man with a big handlebar mustache and a big top hat. I remember he looked at me like, is this the guy we came to see? Really? And I felt so ridiculous that I asked them if they were real, that they walked through my living room, through my dining room, down into my basement. I said, and obviously it made me very nervous. Happened again the next night. Wow. And I asked this spirit, and to this day, I don't know his name. He says to me, he goes, either you're going to accept who and what you are, or we're going to haunt you for the rest of your life. So I kind of laughed at him. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, okay, really? He goes, no, we're going to haunt you for the rest of your life. And it just kind of like, I stopped because I'm like, okay, is this really happening? And I said, what do you mean who and what I am? He says, well, you've failed at everything you've ever done in your life. I said, I've never failed at anything. He goes, oh, no, you've failed at everything. He said, you played baseball, you had this chance, you got drafted, you blew it, didn't you? I was like, well, yeah, I guess I kind of did. He goes, you went into the military, you had another chance. You blew that, didn't you? I was like, well, yeah, I guess I kind of did. It was like he was like breaking me down. Wow. And he said, let us show you who you are. Let us show you what you are. Let us teach you.
Wow.
He said, you have one shot. If you follow us, we'll teach you. If you don't, we're going to haunt you. He turned, walked away. All the other spirits followed him. And I'll never forget, the last spirit was a girl. I'm going to say she was in her 30s. And she was wearing a Woodstock T-shirt. She looked at me. She smiled and she went like this. I said, holy shit, am I going to do this?
Wow.
And I followed them down those stairs. And that's when my schooling began. And I call it schooling because that's exactly what it was. It was school. They taught me everything I know. They taught me to be who I am now. So
wow,
that's amazing.
That's how it started for me. Yeah.
You said they're all from different eras.
All from different eras.
How'd you know that? Clothing?
Just by the clothing.
Okay.
After 9/11, I had to go to the dentist, and it was downtown Manhattan. Okay, which was the zone.
Yeah.
When I walked into that office, there had to be it was standing room only, and I'm thinking to myself, well, I gotta stand. Then I realized they were all spirits. And
holy cow!
I said,
look at my mouth.
No, this is true.
I'm like,
and I'm like, I felt embarrassed to sit down because I was going to sit on somebody. Now nobody else could see,
right?
But I could.
Wow.
I remember when they called me. I went into the room and they were taking X-rays on my teeth, and there were these 3 spirits, and they were gangsters. And they were like sizing me up, like, yeah, who do you think you are? And I'm thinking to myself, this is freaking crazy. When I left, okay, now this is what really blew my mind. When I left, it was like on the 2nd floor, if I remember right. There was a hallway going up, and I looked up, and I'm telling you, there were spirits from so many different eras. There were slaves in there with like burlap pants, like short
Wow.
burlap pants, and it was
Whoa.
like a walk through time.
Wow.
And another part of that story was my friend, who is now deceased, was with me, and we're driving downtown, and I'm like, man, we should work down here. It's so busy right now. He goes, what are you talking about? It's a ghost town. And it hit me. Like, oh my God, he's right.
Oh,
it is a ghost town.
Wow.
And you got to understand, this is in the beginning of me really coming out as being psychic.
Yes.
So a lot of what I was seeing, it just wasn't computing in my head right. I couldn't tell the difference between who was living and who was dead. I'd be talking to you, and there'd be a spirit behind you trying to get my attention. And I'd be like, and I'd start talking, and people would look at me like I was crazy. And it took me a minute to realize the difference between the living and the dead.
I was going to ask you, can you tell the difference?
Now
you okay?
Now
I mean,
you
I don't even got
know.
to think. I just know it's an energy. It's a whole energy thing.
Right.
Right,
So.
right. Now, when you come in contact with a spirit that's not happy,
Mm-hmm.
now I know I've seen on all the TV shows that we were discussing
Mhm.
before we went live. Is it true that like you get nauseous
You
and
can.
sweaty, or
can. Not always, but you
do
can.
you feel pain sometimes?
You can, but not always. There are different signs that a spirit is around. Some people will hear a ringing in the ear or a different tone.
Right.
Some people will feel a push. Some people will feel a pull. Some people will feel like a sway. Some people will get hot. Some people will get cold. Everybody can experience it in a different way. You and I, and all three of us, could be in a room together, and there can be a spirit there, and we can all experience it in a different way, which is pretty interesting.
Wow.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's more than pretty interesting. That's extremely interesting. I've always believed, and I've always been into this realm,
Mhm.
and
Yeah,
I
same
just I find it to be so interesting that
So fascinating.
Yes,
by
it is fascinating. And what's amazing about what I do is every day is an adventure.
yeah,
Every day is an
it's always
adventure.
something new, and
You never know what's going to happen. You never know who you're going to talk to. Every day is an adventure.
excuse me, I just have to close
Oh.
the door because the dog just walked in. You continue.
Chris, you just said
Come on, Bobo.
the spirit can be here. The three of us would experience it a different way.
Yes.
That brings me to my first question for you. They say that I've heard mediums say before on TV or TV shows or whatever, that everyone has the ability to tap in, to connect to the other side.
That's a great
They have to
question.
tap
That was
into
my
it.
question too.
Well, you're gonna, yeah.
Oh my God, you must be psychic
I
too,
mean,
because I
there
was
you
literally
go.
just thinking that.
Right.
I want to know, is everybody
Is that true?
born gifted?
Right.
And it's whether or not you fine tune that
Okay,
gift?
so this is going to be controversial.
Okay.
When I had my own show, I had many psychics, many mediums on, and a good portion of them believe that. I don't.
Okay.
I don't believe everyone is psychic. I do believe everyone has intuition.
Right.
A lot of people have bad intuition, but they have intuition.
Everyone's got a gut feeling every now
A gut
and then.
feeling. Again, just because you have intuition doesn't mean it's good. I'm gonna say I don't believe everyone is psychic.
I don't.
And
I know,
a lot of people do.
Yeah.
Listen, I have a page on Facebook called Spiritual Gangsters. Okay. And there are people on the page that, they believe that they're psychic. Are they? I don't know. I mean, I haven't spoken to them, but I could sit with somebody. I've sat with so many people who have claimed to be psychic, and I know that they're full of shit. I've gone to, I've been part of big events where there were like 20 psychics, and I know 8, 9 of them are absolute frauds. They're just really good at talking to people, you know?
Right.
So I would suggest this. If you're looking for a real psychic, you have to go by recommendations, and don't go by their friends' recommendations.
Right.
Right. I agree.
Google them, look them up, look them the reviews on them.
Right.
A psychic, all a psychic has is their reputation.
Mhm.
Once a psychic has what is considered a bad reputation, they're done.
Right.
All right. So look them up, ask people about them, and don't ask their friends, because their friends are always going to say they're the best.
Of course they are. I just want to say hello to a few people: Elizabeth Bettapine, Linda Collins, Andrew Washington, and Mickey Delaney. How are you guys doing tonight? We're here with Chris George, psychic medium, and so far this is amazing.
Yeah,
my mouth has been hanging open since you started talking.
Good,
I'm just so wowed by all of this. Really, I mean, here's another question I have for you. I keep seeing these numbers like 222, 333, 222.
Those are ascended master numbers. And I don't mean to cut you off, but when something comes, I have to say, because I lose it. What I tell people all the time, if they see successive numbers, go on Google,
Okay.
put in whatever number it is, say it's 222, 256, whatever.
Right.
Angel number meaning. All right. And a thing will come up and tell you exactly what the energy of that number means. And it might be very, very, very relevant to whatever's going on in your life.
Wow. Because my daughter, who you met before,
Mhm.
Mia, and myself, the same three numbers keep coming up, 222, 333,
For both of you?
the
Really?
past 2 days. And she just told me 20 minutes before you got here. And I said, you've got to be kidding me. And I literally screenshotted my views were literally at 333 not
Wow.
too long ago from last week, about an hour before you got
That's
here.
it. Well, another thing I would tell you to do when you come up with numbers like that, if it's three numbers, add them up and then break it down to one number. So if it comes out, if it's like 256, so 5 and 6 is 11 and 2 is 13. So 1 3 would be 1 plus 3 is 4. So that's the number broken down to 4. Okay. And that also can have a very specific meaning for you as well if you break it down.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're blowing my mind, Chris. You
Chris,
really are.
Psychic and medium, are they not two different things?
Completely.
They are, right?
Completely
Okay.
Psychic,
different.
you like when I read the cards, that's more psychic.
Yeah.
You know, mediumship, which is what I am. I'm a psychic medium. I connect with the dead. That is my gift.
Wow.
When people come to me for a reading, I don't do in-person readings anymore. I do everything on FaceTime and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They send me pictures of their loved ones.
Okay.
All right. Whether they're alive or have passed, it doesn't matter.
Right.
And my gift is actually connecting with the dead. That's what I do.
Yeah. Wow.
I will give you messages from them. I'll more than likely tell you how they passed, things like that. You know.
What's the method of communication with them? Is it verbal? Is it just something you see? Or
That's a great question.
Symbols.
right.
It used to be symbols. It used to be hand signs for me, and I had to figure that out. But then as time has gone on, I hear it. Now, when I say I hear it, it's really not like a voice that I'm hearing. I just know it. It's like it just comes to me. And sometimes I'll hear it in like an accent.
Mm-hmm.
I've read people who come from Puerto Rico and their loved ones only spoke Spanish, and I hear it in English.
Oh.
I've read
Wow.
people. I've actually done a seance, okay, which is how I made my name for myself, by the way. And a seance meaning I would sit at a table with a bunch of people and actually become the spirits that were coming through. And I've actually spoken different languages. I've spoken a dialect, an African dialect. I've spoken German. I've spoken Yiddish.
Wow.
You know? Yeah, and I don't remember anything when I do that.
Really?
That's why I videotape a lot of stuff because I remember nothing.
Wow.
Like the movie. It's fiction, but
Ghost.
There you go.
That's me.
Imagine
Odame.
Yeah.
That's basically
Orlando.
what I do. Yes,
Wow.
Orlando. That's basically, and it's funny you brought that up because I've been writing a book for years. I'm still writing it, but I actually mentioned her, Odame, because that's kind of how it is with me. You know, like when I would do a seance, there would be like 15 spirits in the room. And they would all fight to see who's going to come in first. And then whoever was the strongest would usually be the first one in. Right. And then it was like a hierarchy on the other side on who would come through first.
So that's pretty accurate, that movie.
Yes.
That's what happened.
I know it's supposed to be funny, but yes, for me, it's accurate. I can't speak for other mediums. Gotcha. I have no idea what it is for them, but for me, it's very accurate.
I cried through most of that movie. I didn't think it was funny.
No, funny, absolutely not. Well, that scene's,
Some of the scenes were funny, like when she had to give the check to the nun. She's like, hold on. She's like, I will. So when you've done exorcisms, if you don't mind me asking.
Yeah, no, I love talking about exorcisms.
What was the scariest encounter you've ever come in contact with?
There was the one that I love to talk about is I call it the miracle on Easter, because there was a woman from Staten Island who the mother contacted me. She said, my daughter's being attacked by a spirit. I think it's demonic. And she was right. It's one of the three that I would say was demonic. Wow. She said, would you come and check it out? So I go with my team. And as soon as I walk in, there was a little girl, beautiful little girl, spirit. I would say like 12 years old. And I told her, okay, there's a spirit here of a little girl. I said, but there's something wrong. I said, this is like a shapeshifter. What I'm seeing is not real. She said, come with me. And she pulled out a hand like this. And I grabbed what would have been a hand, even though I couldn't feel it. You know, I just felt the energy. I said, guys, follow me. I said, something is wrong. Now, I didn't know what room the girl was in, what was her bedroom. This little spirit pulled me into that bedroom and then turned into this thing, like a dog-looking big. I can't. It's very hard to explain.
Wow.
Like
But
a
it was
monster.
crazy, right? Like a monster. I'll put it this way. So my two brother-in-laws were two really big guys. They were in there with me, and I said, "Oh my God, look at this!" The woman had like one of those things with the like the chains hanging.
Yeah.
They all started going back and forth and everything. That was pretty crazy. And the crazy part about that was when I went out into the room, I said, "Listen," I said, "I know what's going on." I said, "I'm being told that your daughter did a blood spell with with Santeria." She goes, "What do you mean a blood spell?" I said, "I'm being told that she put her period blood in her boyfriend's coffee to make him love her more." And the woman said, "You got to get the F out of my house. My daughter would never do that." She looked at her daughter, and the daughter just kind of like bowed her head. She says, "No." She says, "Mommy, I just wanted him to love me."
Wow.
And that was the start of it. Yeah, that was pretty amazing. That actually took almost 17 hours to do. Most exorcisms take between, for me, and I shouldn't call them exorcisms. I've gotten in trouble for that. Let's say spirit removal. Between like 3 and I have gotten in trouble. When I had my show, I had a show. We were talking about exorcisms, and I had a priest from California who has performed exorcisms.
Was this on Second Sight?
This was on Second Sight.
Okay.
I had like over 2 million listeners on this show.
That's a show that Chris George had.
Okay. Yeah. So now this priest, I thought he was arrogant. Okay. He was kind of annoying me, but I got to be respectful. I'm the host and whatever. And I just thought he was being arrogant. And I told him, I said, "Listen," and he wouldn't call me. He wouldn't call me Chris. He kept calling me George. I said, "George is not my name. My name is Chris George." Mm-hmm. I said, "Please call me Chris. It's my show. Show me a little respect."
Right.
Priest wouldn't do it. At one point, they said, "You know what, Padre?" I called him Padre. He didn't like that. I said, "You know, what you do is a Band-Aid. What I do is surgery. I fix the problem that you can't." Would you know that father told me, well, I'm not going to say the word, but he told me to go. He goes, "Go F yourself." And he hung up on me. A priest.
Wow.
Yeah, no F-bomb.
And no,
not allowed.
And he hung up the phone on me.
Wow.
Yeah. That happened on my show.
Wow.
Yeah, we got a lot of flack for that. So I normally don't call them exorcisms because to be a real exorcism, you have to be, it has to come from the Vatican and all that stuff. What I would say I do is spirit removal.
Now, what's involved in a spirit removal?
Yeah. Well, I'm very unorthodox. The Catholic Church does an exorcism with prayer, with holy water, with sage, with church incense and chant and stuff like that. I actually bring the spirit into my body, break it down till there's nothing left, and then release it. And I've done 103 of them, and I've been successful 103 times.
You're not expelling it. You're drawing it out.
I'm bringing it in. And I've had other mediums tell me, "How could you do that? It's very dangerous." And maybe
Isn't it dangerous for you?
I would say it is. But I have a team of people that I really believe in, that I think are amazing at what they do. They know, like when I'm in that channeled state, they know my mannerisms. They know like if different things that I do, what they have to do. So I'm very comfortable. I'm very confident in it. And like I said, I've done 103 and I've been successful 103 times.
Wow.
About 1,000. Wow.
1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of something that's dangerous, I bet you didn't think to ask this. Ouija boards.
Okay.
I did.
Love it.
Did you?
Love
We're
it.
on the
I'm
same
sorry. I got it right
wavelength.
here.
This is why this
I
is
couldn't
my
wait
new
to ask.
co-host. Go on.
I love the subject of Ouija
As a
boards.
teenager, Chris,
Oh, yeah.
I used it. No one can tell me that they do not work.
They do work.
Yeah, they do.
100%. It was reading my mind. And he was saying things that I was thinking.
Were you doing it by yourself or with somebody?
With someone else.
Okay. Now, here's the thing. Can Ouija boards be real? Absolutely. They are a toy, but they are also a conduit to the other side.
Yeah.
The same way a pendulum is, the same way dowsing rods are. Different things can be, can get you to the other side. A Ouija board is one of them. Now, the thing with Ouija boards is you have to be smart. Okay? You have to protect yourself before. You have to protect yourself after.
It's really not a toy.
No, it is a toy, but it's not. Okay? When used
you buy the Toys R Us.
You can buy
Parker Brothers made it in the 90s.
Yes,
I know.
the thing with Ouija boards is what happens with a lot of people, they do it by themselves. Worst thing they can do.
By yourself.
Oh, it absolutely works by itself.
Okay.
What happens is there's something called progressive entrapment. Okay, what that is when somebody uses a Ouija board by themselves and they connect with a spirit and the spirit is really giving you answers, and you really start feeling comfortable with this spirit, and you let your guard down. And what happens is he progressively entraps you.
Right.
Next thing you know, that there's an attachment, and it can become possession, and it can be very, very dangerous. Okay. I've done 3 exorcisms directly linked to Ouija boards.
Whoa.
So you can play with it, but do it with somebody first of all. Protect yourself before and after. Say a little prayer, whatever you want, and don't ever, ever, ever do it by yourself.
So that's what you do to protect yourself, is to pray before.
You could call on. What I would suggest you do is call on Archangel Michael, who's the great protector.
Right.
Say, Archangel Michael, please come down and protect me and the room and my surroundings while I connect with spirit. That's all you have to do.
Wow.
And at the end,
not that I'm going to.
And at the end, say, Archangel Michael, thank you for protecting me. You can call on Archangel Raphael to send healing to you, and just thank the spirits for looking after you, and go on about.
You mean Saint Michael the Archangel?
He's not Saint Michael, Archangel Michael, 2 different people. Archangel Michael is the great protector. Archangel Raphael is the great healer. So anytime I do a healing, like I use like this is amethyst. Okay,
right.
This is her amethyst, by the way. And I call on 100% of the time, call on Archangel Raphael. So for all you people out there that are going through like medical stuff or even emotional stuff, always call on Archangel Raphael to send you healing, to look after you. If people feel like they're being threatened, you have an abusive relationship, somebody's being, verbally, emotionally, mentally, physically, sexually abusive to you, call on Archangel Michael. He's the great protector. Ask him to look after you. Okay. You could also, when you call on Archangel Michael, ask him to bring his carry-on angels. Carry-on, Carrion, like carry on.
Okay.
They are like his band of mercenaries that take care of the dirty work on the other side. So Archangel Michael and the carry-on angels.
Wow.
You say call on.
Call on them. Just say, Archangel Michael, please look after me, and have the carry-on angels also look after me.
Now, do you do like daily rituals when you wake up in the morning before you do your readings, like to protect yourself or the house?
Okay. Well, what I do is I usually 5 to 10 minutes before my readings, I go and I sit by myself and just kind of clear my mind.
Like meditating?
I don't really meditate. I just kind of clear my mind.
Okay.
And I would say 5 times a week, I do something which I call psychic protection, which I teach in my classes. And I pretty much do that at least 5 times a week, sometimes every night. It just depends.
Wow.
Just kind of put a golden light around me with mirrors, and it's a whole little ritual I do. It takes all 3 minutes.
Classes too.
Oh yeah, I'm going to be teaching classes out here in Long Island.
Wow.
Come this spring.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Well, when we have you back for part 2, we can talk about that.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Awesome.
I still can't believe how many exorcisms you've done.
Well, you have to understand, this is over 20 years.
Yeah, but still, it just blows my mind.
What causes the need for an exorcism? Like,
there's a lot of
something silly like that girl did with the.
Well, okay, so
it just happened spontaneously.
Attachments, okay.
Yeah.
You have to get a spirit removal because of attachments, and what happens is, there are a certain type of person that is more susceptible to being attached. Drug addicts, alcoholics, people that are abusing any type of drug, people who are addicts, sex addicts, gambling addicts, any kind of addict. They're giving their constitution away. It makes it much easier for negative spirits to attach to them.
Oh God, yeah, absolutely, makes sense.
Wow. Why are you thinking about changing your career?
I'd been possessed a long time ago if I wasn't. What I do.
Wow. I'm so blown away. I forgot what I was going to ask you. This is how much I'm interested in this. I know you do ghost hunting.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So I'd like to touch on that a little bit. Now, I know you met your significant other, Dawn, the beautiful Dawn, who's in studio. She's chilling out with us. You can just yell out, hey.
Hi, Dawn.
At a ghost hunting event. Can you tell us a little bit about the one you have coming up?
Yes, I do it twice a year. I do it every July and every December, usually on my birthday weekend in December. There's a place called the Shanley Hotel. Okay. It's in Napanoch, New York. It's one of the most haunted hotels in America. It's been on all the paranormal shows that are on TV. Every show has been there. Okay.
Wow.
I have one coming up December 11th. Like whatever that is, like 10 days away, whatever.
Sold out.
So it's sold out in 3 days.
How many people?
30 people. I have people coming in from California.
Wow.
I have people coming in from Boston, Massachusetts. Wow. I have people coming in from New Hampshire. People coming in from Buffalo, People coming
Holy
from
cow.
all over. Yeah, just to
Why
spend
is it
one
such a
night.
small amount of people? Just out of curiosity.
It can only
More intimate?
hold that many
30.
people.
So it's a small.
I rent the whole place out. Nobody's going to be there but my people.
Wow.
And it's not just a paranormal investigation. I do my I do a thing called psychic poker. For those of you who have never seen me on Facebook, it's when I take like 8 decks of cards, put them out, and I read all the cards all
I've
at once.
seen you do that.
Yeah,
I
it's a
saw
lot
you
of
live.
fun. So I'd be doing that. Everyone gets a reading, and then I have a couple of very famous investigators that are on television that are going to be there with all their amazing equipment, and we just do an investigation. And I do a lot of channeling that night, like channel the spirits of the hotel, which is always pretty interesting.
Wow.
Wow.
Is that consistent with all the people that go there? Is it was the same spirit, same people?
There's a lot of the same spirits,
Yeah.
And a lot of the same spirits pop up often.
Now, from what era are these spirits?
Oh my God, they're from all over.
How old's that hotel?
I mean, the hotel is, I want to say about, what is it, like almost 200 years old, right?
Okay.
I think it's 200
No
years old.
wonder. Wow.
It used to be a brothel. Actually, when there's a brothel still in there where people sleep up. There's 3 rooms up in the brothel that people sleep at. There's one room in there that I love this story. There's this woman, a professor. Doesn't drink, doesn't smoke, doesn't curse, she's just like, very intelligent woman. She slept in this room. And when she woke up in the morning, I remember we were all downstairs having coffee. She came down, her head was all disheveled. She says, you know what, Chris? She goes, I don't smoke and I feel like I need a cigarette. I said, what do you mean? She says, I was being touched all night by spirits.
Wow.
Holy, physically touched.
Yeah.
What does that feel like when you're touched by a spirit?
Well, in that same hotel, I think it was the time before I met you, the December before I met you. I was in there in my room, and I had my back to the door, and all of a sudden I felt my back being massaged. I thought of my best friend Denise is a practical joker. I thought she came in my room, and I said, Denise, what are you doing? I turned around, she wasn't there. And then all of a sudden I hear, you smell so good. So I start laughing.
Wow.
I'm like, oh, really? She goes, I love the way you smell. I said, well, I always smell good. I like to wear clothes, And so she's massaging my back, and then she massages my back a little bit lower. And then I start hearing 10 or 12 different spirits all trying to talk to me at the same time.
Wow.
Place is awesome.
Wow.
When Dawn came, she was actually in a room with 3 girls, and the ball rolled across the floor. They said, if there's a spirit here, could move the ball. And the ball moved, and they all started screaming. And yeah,
I would scream.
Yeah, it's a cool place.
I would be the loudest.
People see, shadow people walking and stuff like that.
Cool.
Yeah.
I think we're in for July, right?
Yes,
Mike?
I'm just gonna say.
I think
Absolutely,
we're
going on
gonna
in
go.
July, right?
What I do is December
We are there.
11th when I do the event. The next morning, I book my July event that day. So when I put it out there, like I said, it's usually sold out in about 3 days.
Wow.
Oh, so tickets go. Well, was it tickets? You buy tickets?
Yeah. Well, people pay through Venmo, and
When is that? Was that go on sale? Or when does that start? So we don't miss out on it. I don't know. Is it too
I
soon to
will-
ask?
I
Please
promise you, I will let you
message
guys
me.
know. I
Please
promise you.
message
Yeah, I
me.
love that.
Wow. Oh my God, that's gonna be
it's a lot of fun.
great.
It's a lot of fun. Right? You had a fun time, right?
Did you ever get scared?
When the ball started rolling.
Oh, were you
that's
there
when
for
I
that?
was like,
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. Is that when you guys met on that trip?
We met before that,
Okay.
but that was our first real date. Our first real date was at a haunted hotel.
Yeah.
I think that's a pretty damn cool first date. if you
Yeah,
ask
really.
me.
And that was good. It was good. She fell in love right away.
Oh, look at your nut. Look at the
Yeah, exactly.
face. Come on.
Okay, I gotta say it. I did too. So
There you go. Good answer.
it
Good
is
answer.
It's the truth.
So in
She's
there,
gorgeous.
do you ever get? Okay, this is another thing. I mentioned Ouija boards before. EVPs.
I got EVPs
Really?
that'll blow your mind.
EVPs are?
Yes.
Okay.
I have EVPs that will absolutely blow your mind. The guy who's coming to my event this year, his name is Bob Christopher. Him and his girlfriend, who's one of my best friends in the world, Gina Bankston, they are on the Ghost Detectives television show, which has had 130 episodes or whatever.
Wow.
He actually makes ghost boxes, and he brings them. And
What's that? Ghost box?
It's it's a way to get EVPs. It's just unbelievable.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
I thought just a basic tape
Yeah,
recorder.
you could use it.
No?
Basic. Yes, absolutely. You could just definitely use a digital recorder. But the ghost boxes are pretty awesome.
Oh,
too,
wow. I've heard some online that are like
crazy.
That's
when,
scary. It creeps me out.
When I was on the Maury Povich show, I was lead investigator for my team. I was on the Maury Povich show, and the woman who got me on the show was a woman named Debbie Caruso. May she rest in peace. And I wouldn't be part of the paranormal community if it wasn't for her. She said to me, the Maury Povich show wants me to come on as an EVP expert, but I told them I wouldn't do it unless Chris George came with me.
Oh.
I said, okay, I'm in. Well, she passed from, she had cancer. She passed.
Oh, sorry.
And our first investigation was at the Shanley Hotel. Okay. When I went there, it was like 3 weeks after she had passed. I went there and I had 2 recorders. Now, it's not typical for 2 recorders to get the same thing ever. Okay.
Right.
I said, Debbie, if you're here, could you say hello? And all of a sudden, when we listened back, one said, Debbie. Then other one said, Caruso. It was absolutely amazing.
Wow.
People wanted to pass out in that place. It was amazing.
Oh my God. I
was
really
amazing.
just got the chills. Wow. So
Jeez.
I totally lost my train of
Yeah.
thought. This never happens to me.
I'm sorry.
I'm never quiet, ever. Right?
It's
He has
overwhelming.
trouble keeping me. It's very
Yes.
overwhelming. Like,
To have it right here, I always see it on TV, but to actually hear.
I literally.
Okay, you just
go.
spoke with kind of like a rough kind of voice, like intimidating.
Mm-hmm.
What about like evil?
No, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter.
Is evil the word?
It just sounds that way on the EVPs. Every now and then there'll be a little bit more soft, but for the most part, you have to understand they're using these airwaves to manipulate it for their voice. So a lot of times it's always going to sound like a little rough. So when you guys are doing EVPs, don't get so freaked out if it sounds rough. It's just the way it comes through.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's all like electric
Yes.
energy.
They're using electricity. They're using energy to manifest their voice.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So that's just the way it comes out. Every now and then it'll come off soft. It will, but mostly no.
Remember the movie White Noise?
Yes.
How
That's what EVPs
That's
are.
EVPs, right,
EVPs are white
yeah.
noise. Yes.
With what's his name? The actor.
Yeah, I don't remember the actor, but
Yeah,
I know the movie.
Yeah, there you go. Right.
Wow. So, what are some of what's your favorite place to go ghost hunting? But it's besides the Shanley Hotel.
Geez. I like the Kreischer Mansion in Staten Island.
Okay.
There's a lot of history there. You know, the mob used to use it as a chop shop, kill people and bury them there. And
Oh wow.
so that was pretty awesome.
That's awesome.
Have you
No,
ever come
yeah.
in contact with somebody famous, like really famous that's passed?
One time and I've been trying to channel Biggie for years. I haven't been able to do it.
Oh wow.
He's
Yeah.
my favorite.
Biggie.
I've been trying. I haven't been able to do it. I haven't given up yet. But one time there was it's not there anymore. There used to be a nursery school in Staten Island called Tanglewood.
Okay.
And they asked me to come there to do a seance, which I couldn't believe they wanted me to come to a nursery school to do a seance for all the teachers. So I'm in a channel state now. I don't notice. I only noticed because I videotaped it and they told me afterwards. Channel Spirit, and I look at a woman. I said, "I'm your favorite singer." She goes, "No, you're not." I said, "Yeah, I am, and I'm going to sing your favorite song." And I started singing "An Evening in Roma" by Dean Martin, right? And I actually channeled Dean Martin for about 30 seconds.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
God.
Only celebrity I've ever channeled. But I've tried other ones.
Holy
It just
cow,
hasn't happened
that's
yet.
amazing.
So
Wow. Do you have a lot of famous people contacting you?
I have a couple. I don't
Yeah.
talk
That
about
want
them,
you to
but there
come-
are.
Well, of course
There's
not.
one very famous psychic that only comes to me. And I've read quite a few stars.
Wow. Now, is there any place that you won't go back to?
No.
Because it was just that bad.
No.
No.
The more bad, the worse it is, the more I want to be
You
there.
want to be there.
Because
And
that's where you get the amazing stuff, you know.
Right.
That's where you get the great pictures. That's where you get the great EVPs, and I
Yeah,
love
right,
that.
right.
You know,
Wow.
and I don't like to call myself a ghost hunter. I'm not. I'm a paranormal investigator. I'm a
Right.
psychic
Right.
paranormal investigator. I like the connection. I like to go into a place and know that what's there. I like to figure it out. You know, it's fun.
Right. And you're also helping.
Absolutely.
Well,
right.
in the investigation, I'm really not helping. I'm just kind of like
Yeah.
Are you able to help them like cross over?
sometimes
and
if they want to. Would never cross a spirit who doesn't want to be crossed. They have to want to cross over.
Now, do the majority of them want to cross over, or they?
I would say 50-50. Some spirits, they feel like they're not deserving. Some spirits feel like if they go into the light, that's it. You know, they can't come back.
Right.
And that, I think,
And that's not true.
That's not true.
So
And
once you go, you can come back.
what do you mean to connect with us? Absolutely. Now, I'll take it a step further. The television show. Oh God, I can't think of the name of it. The psychic show, not Medium. Anyway, so the writer of that show is James Van Prague, who's one of the great psychics. And he's phenomenal. I've met him. I've worked with him. The guy is awesome. Okay. Yeah. In that show, what the hell is the name of that show? I can't believe I can't think of it. Anyway, they make it like when they go into the light that they're gone. They're in the light. They're all happy. And no, the difference between being in the light and not being in the light is very simple. If you have, say, your grandmother's on this side and your grandfather's on this side, your grandfather's in the light, your grandmother is not. Your grandmother can feel your emotions. She can feel your pain, your sadness.
Right.
Whereas your grandfather who's in the light, he's not going to feel that. He's going to be able to help you. He's going to be able to push you a little bit.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So just because you go into the light doesn't mean you can't be here for your loved ones. That's a fallacy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You mentioned going into I don't know if this is something you could speak on, but maybe you can. Anything you can give on when the other side, the afterlife, when people pass away?
I can,
you
because
always say that all the time.
I can, because I was there. Okay.
Really?
Years ago, I had a mild heart attack. Okay. 36 years old, had a mild heart attack. And I remember being in a room with a door, opened the door, and it was just beautiful. And I remember just feeling peace. Okay.
Wow.
Just so you know, it was a mild heart attack. It was not a major heart attack, but I still saw this light. And on the other side of that door was my grandmother who had passed.
Wow.
And she says, Christopher, it's not your time. And I knew it was her because
Wow.
I don't like to be called Christopher, and she did. And she was like, it's not your time. You have people to help. You got to go back. And I did.
Wow.
You know, when my father passed, for him, it was a little bit different. You know, I think for everybody, it's a little bit different. Now you have to understand, I actually saw my father going into the light. It was something out of a movie. There were all these spirits on the side of him, okay? And he just kind of was just ascending in there. And I said, Dad, who are all these spirits?
Right.
He says, Chris, you're not going to believe this. He goes, these are my grandparents, my great-grandparents, cousins that died 200 years ago. And I know every one of them. That blew me away. That blew me away. I was like, you know them? He goes, I know every one of them. So when you pass, your loved ones, even ones that you didn't know when you were alive, they are there to greet you. Yeah. And that's a nice feeling. That's a nice feeling knowing that when you go, they're going to be there waiting for you.
That is a nice feeling.
Yeah.
I've heard people in hospice. Mm-hmm. There's a thing where with an hour or two, as they're going to pass away, they always, I heard a nurse say this online, the hospice nurse, they reach into the sky.
Not always. That's
because
partially true.
They're actually seeing family members.
Yes, that's partially true. It doesn't always happen.
That's so common. Oh, really?
But it is common. It is absolutely common.
When you're close to death, you actually see your family members.
Yes, absolutely.
Wow.
Do spirits ever come home with you after doing a reading? Or
no.
You're protected from that?
No, not from when I'm doing a reading. When I'm doing a reading anyway, I don't do in-person readings anymore. I do everything online.
What about seances? And stuff?
Never. I've never ever once had a spirit come home with me. But I also protect myself.
Right.
When I do a seance, if I was to do a seance here, I would protect everybody in this room. Nobody would have to worry. Right. That's the thing people ask me all the time about the Shanley Hotel. Oh, I'm afraid a spirit's going to come home with me. This will be my 15th investigation there.
Oh, wow.
My 15th.
I cannot wait.
Never once has a spirit gone home with anyone who's been there.
Wow.
So,
you do it twice a year?
Twice a year, every July, every December.
Is it something you can turn off?
I turn it off every day.
You can turn it off.
I love that.
So you're not here right now, and
it's do you ever get any peace?
I love that question.
Right
now, the older psychics. I'm going to be 53. I don't consider myself an older psychic. Older psychics, I consider
53 is not old because I'm 50.
Okay, well,
I'm a kid here. No, Dawn is.
Well, to me, the older psychics are 65 and up.
Right.
Okay? Not that that's old, but it's older. You know, a lot of the real psychics. And I go like this because there's not a lot of real ones, but the real psychics, you'll notice as they get older, they get a little bit loopy. Okay, they get out of touch with reality, and I believe that's because they don't ever turn it off. You know, they're psychic 24/7. I am not. I am psychic when I'm supposed to be, and then when I'm done, I'm just Chris. Just Chris. I am not psychic medium, Chris George. And it took me a long time to learn that. It
Okay.
didn't happen right away.
How do you shut it off,
Right.
though?
It now is second nature. You know, it took me about, I'm going to say about 7 years to learn. And so for 7 years, when I first started this, like 21 years ago, I didn't know how to shut it off. They were always talking to me, always talking to me. Now, when I'm done, I'm done. And they know. There's a respect level.
Know to leave
I
you
set
alone.
boundaries. I set, you know, this is, and the thing is, even when I shut it off, if there's like an emergency and they want to let me know, they will.
Wow.
So
That's incredible, Chris.
Yeah,
That's
like,
amazing.
wow. So now is Dawn psychic?
I don't know, Dawn, are you psychic?
Psychic by injection.
Oh, okay. All right. I can.
That's
I
closer
get
than me.
that.
Yeah.
Closer than me too.
I wish I was.
No.
I wish I was psychic too.
No, people
Trust
say
me.
that all the time. I wish I was you. I wish I no, trust me. People don't realize what I went through as a child,
Yeah.
seeing spirits and having to be
Well,
a
yeah,
13-year-old
that's
kid
scary.
and not try to focus on what wasn't real to anybody else. It wasn't easy for me.
Yeah, right.
You know, listen, did I use it to my advantage a couple times? Yes. You know, I remember being in a baseball game, in a championship game for high school, and I hear, you know, hanging curveball. I said, huh? It was a hanging curveball. And then the next one, it said, another hanging curveball. I sat on it, I put it out of the park.
Wow.
Yeah. And then the next time I got up, it said, fastball down the middle. Took a swing, out of the park. 2 home runs in the same game with Spirit telling me what was coming.
Did you play for the Astros?
No, I was actually drafted by the New York Mets.
Were you really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I
Awesome.
did not know
I was
that.
a ball player, but that's why I said the Spirit told me I failed at everything. They were right.
Oh, wow.
I had the opportunity, but I blew it. So
Mets, Jets, and Islanders.
Mets, Jets. I'm not really a hockey fan.
Yeah.
You know,
Just say
so-
Islanders.
Okay. Mets and Jets though, and Knicks.
Yes, definitely.
I'm a
the
3-time
Knicks.
loser, unfortunately, when it comes to the sports.
Wow,
Nowhere to go but up.
wow. So, do you set up like crystals and everything when you do readings?
No,
or like
when I do
candles?
events, I will, but no, I don't either. I love crystals. I love gemstones. I believe in them. I
Right.
sell them. I mean, I got
Oh,
a
you
big.
do?
Oh yeah, of course I do.
Well, tell the people where they can buy your crystals. and
Well, the
everything.
next sale I'm doing is going to be on the 18th in Staten Island. I'm guessing people from Long Island are going to come out to Staten Island. But,
Oh, they will.
They will. Well,
They
then I'm doing a
will.
sale at Serena's Catering Hall in
You have
Staten
a-
Island, September
you have
18th.
a lot of
I mean,
fans.
December 18th.
December 18th.
So, yeah, but you know, the gemstones I really believe in. I mean, there are certain gemstones that I really love, like the citrine for those people who need to attract money to them. Citrine is fantastic. People who need healing, amethyst is the best.
I love
Protection.
amethyst.
Amethyst.
It's
Is
so
amethyst?
pretty.
That's amethyst.
Isn't
Yes.
that gorgeous?
Yes, this is
Beautiful.
moonstone.
I have another one
Okay,
inside.
moonstone
too.
is really good for love, to attract love to you. It's actually the second, in my opinion, second best stone to attract love. The best one is rose quartz. Quartz is the most important gemstone, the most important crystal, because it's known as an amplifier. What you do is you put it next to all your other gemstones, and it makes them stronger.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay. Wow.
Selenite is really good. Selenite clears things. You can use selenite to clear your stones. If you have like headaches, if you're feeling stressed out, anxiety, go with the selenite around you. It helps. You know,
Oh, wow.
there are certain gemstones that I really believe in. The protection gemstones are amazing. You have hematite, which in my opinion is the best.
Okay.
You have tiger's eye, which in my opinion is the second best, and then you have black tourmaline, which in my opinion is third best. But there are other ones that you could use for that. But for protection, absolutely hematite is the best in my
Hematite.
opinion. Yes.
Hematite.
Hematite and tiger's eye are my 2 favorites.
Wow.
Awesome. Wow.
Wow. Well, I want my viewers to all know that this is only part 1 with Chris George. I know I posted about it. We are going to pick a date for part 2.
Yep.
That Chris is going to come back, and hopefully Dawn will join us that night too. And he's such a generous, loving guy. I can tell already. He's going to
Yes.
do readings for all the viewers.
Yeah.
How about that? Amazing.
I mean, that's going to be an
That's a show
incredible
not to miss.
Just so you guys know, when I do the readings on the show, I do what's known, like I said, I call it psychic poker.
Okay.
It's psychic questions, not mediumship questions. So don't ask me if your loved one is here,
right.
because I'm to do it in this atmosphere.
Yeah. Just,
That's
Right.
more of a one-on-one.
Exactly.
Right.
Right.
You know, but you've seen me do it on my
Yes,
live.
I
It gets
have.
crazy in the chat room.
Yeah.
Now, what would a
it
psychic
was.
reading be compared to a one?
A psychic reading is more,
A
I mean, like
medium.
tarot cards. People use tarot cards for psychic
Okay, the
readings.
cards, right?
Now, I use the cards as well when I do my psychic poker, but
He has like 8 decks of cards.
If I'm being
8 decks.
honest with people,
Wow.
it's more of a guide than, because people will take the card and look at it and say 7 of Cups means this and the Wanderer means that. I don't do that. That's not a real psychic. That's somebody who read the book and said, okay, this is what this means.
Okay.
So
Exactly, right.
I will not. I promise you, I won't do that.
Okay. Well,
Not a show to miss, people.
Yeah,
Definitely, for sure.
seriously, you're not going to want to miss
Looking
part
forward
2.
to
We'll
that.
have to pick a date, I guess,
Yes.
after Christmas.
Yeah, whenever
figure
you're ready,
out a
we'll
night,
set it up.
and,
I would love to come back.
This was such an honor to have you with
Thank
us.
you. It was an honor to be
Totally.
Thank you. We're going to do a quick contest, and then we'll do a little closing quick
Okay.
chat with you. Bobby, if you would like to show picture number 1, viewers, if you'd like to win a T-shirt, this is a picture from a movie from, I'll tell you in a second. Where did I put you? The paper's over here. This is a film that was released in 1983. And in this movie, this is not the main character. This was an employee of one of the main characters. And the main character worked as an engineer in an auto manufacturing plant. Anybody? Oh, there's Ed Zubinski. Happy belated birthday, Ed.
There he is, the birthday boy, last Monday.
And Kristalina. Hey, love. Let's see. The wife, her boss, when her husband got fired from his job, she took over and went to work, and her boss wanted to have an affair with her. Bobby, if you want to show another picture. That's one of the other employees. And their little boy loved his whoopee. Do you remember that part? His whoopee.
I didn't see it.
Daddy tried to hide the whoopee. Okay, show the other
That's
picture too,
1983?
Bobby. Yeah, 1983. The main star of the movie was. Show the next one, Bobby. Nope, the other one. That one.
There you go.
Michael Keaton. He was the star of the film. Anybody?
What do you say, people?
They're all chatting with
Who's
themselves.
got it? Yeah.
That's because I've been ignoring them all the show throughout the show. I'm sorry, guys, but this was such an honor to have Chris George with me.
Yes.
I could not answer your questions. I find this so fascinating.
He's answered questions I've had for a long time
Me
regarding
too.
the paranormal.
Me
Totally.
too.
Yes.
Me too. All right. Well, if nobody's going to guess, then guess what? We're going to save it for next
See you
week.
next week.
Yeah, we'll save it for next week. Suckers. So your next main thing is going to the hotel.
My next main thing is December 11th at the hotel, which for those of you who want to see what happens there, you can send me a friend request to Chris George. You'll know it's me because it'll be me and Dawn as my profile picture. And I will be going live that night when I channel spirit and whatnot. So you guys could actually see me, channeling, which, is
I can't
not
wait.
the norm.
You're going to
so.
be streaming live from the
Oh,
hotel
yeah,
that night?
absolutely.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Absolutely.
I'm watching that.
Oh, I am in.
That's great.
Oh, my
Into
God.
that,
I
yeah.
cannot wait.
Yeah.
I cannot
And then after that, December 18th in Staten Island at Serena's Catering Hall,
Right.
I'm going to be selling all my merchandise, all my
Go get
gemstones,
your
my
merch,
crystals,
people,
my
from
bracelets,
Chris
all that
George.
stuff.
Serena's in Staten Island.
Yes.
Yes.
Selling the spiritual gangster shirt.
Oh, yeah. I know it's a shirt before. Great. Spiritual gangster.
Wow. And also, if you'd like a private reading, you do it on Zoom?
I do it on Facebook Instant Messenger, FaceTime, or WhatsApp.
Okay.
I don't have an iPhone. I have an Android, so I can't.
It's fine. Whatever.
So we can do it on Duo or WhatsApp, or
You can always
I do
come
most
here
of my
and
readings.
borrow the studio whenever you
Thank
want.
you. I
You're more
appreciate
than
that.
welcome. I mean, I would love to, we'll talk about, maybe we could get a regular thing going on here.
Sure.
I would love to
that'd
work
be-
something out.
That'd be nice.
And yeah, I mean, I know I'm going to be booking my private reading.
Okay.
I absolutely want one.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that. And I'm going to do my sponsors. Okay, people. We've got the Harmony Bar, 673 Newbridge Road, Levittown. Go see Tara and Jimmy. They are the owners. You have free pool every Tuesday all day. and all night. And they do twofers from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. So go check out the Harmony Bar. We have Frank Paul Landscape and Design. You can reach him at 516-698-2740. He's got a great crew. They do all areas of landscape and design. Then we've got Dino Luzzi Energy Drink. Check it out. It is yummy. That is it. Made in Italy.
The Italian colors on.
I mean, he's even got his name on the Italian racing team, the race cars. Dino's a good guy. We love you, Dino Luzzi. But check out his energy drink. It's really tasty. It has vitamins too in it.
Oh, does it? Oh,
yeah, it
awesome.
does. Then we've got Michael Asta and Associates. He is my favorite attorney, my personal injury attorney. He's amazing. You can reach him at 212-244-6555. He's got offices in New York, New Jersey, and Long Island. And if God forbid you or a loved one get injured, the man's a shark. He'll get you the money. Keys Cutlery, located at Retro Relics, 2860 Middle Country Road, Lake Grove, New York. Also along with that is Keys Love Jewelry, his lovely wife Teresa. You can reach them at 631-379-1781 or 631-379-2565. Those are our sponsors. Chris George, it was an honor.
Yes, totally.
I mean, you've answered some questions that I've had for so many years.
Good. I like I told you, you can ask me anything.
And even that brings me peace, just to know, like, there is not just the light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak.
There's more.
There's more to
one
it.
thing I want to tell you is, a lot of people think that when they're gone, they never come back. That is not true. Like I know you're a very old. You're a very old soul, by the way. You're an old soul too, but you're a very old soul. Like I look at you and I see, like you've been here for quite some time, many times. So
wow, thank you.
You do come back.
Awesome.
Wow, that's awesome. I can't wait for my reading. I'll be calling you tomorrow to book that up.
Can I just say one thing? Ed asked what an EVP is. And we didn't explain it. It's an electronic voice
phenomenon. It's using
It uses devices.
You could use a regular digital recorder. You ask questions, and you go back later and listen to it. And a lot of times you'll get stuff.
Right.
There are certain recorders that are better than others. What I would suggest you do, for those of you who are like amateurs and want to get into it, there's something called the Ghost Box. Look it up. Buy it. You can get it pretty inexpensive, and they're really good. I wish I could remember the on your phone, there's a thing called Echo Box. Okay, you got to pay for it. I think it's like $19, but for like novice ghost hunters, paranormal investigators, Echo Box is phenomenal. Oh, wow. Very good. Yes.
Wow.
Okay.
And you can get it right on your phone. It's an app, and it's fantastic.
Wow. Are you going to be selling those awesome T-shirts at
yes, I sell these. These I just give away, but
nice.
I was supposed to bring you guys one. I actually forgot. I felt horrible about it.
You'll be back.
You're coming back. It's all right. It's all right. And we want Dawn to join us next time.
Definitely.
She's gorgeous.
It's a pivotal part of the operation, I'm sure.
Yeah, she's pretty hot, huh?
She is pretty hot. Beautiful. Check her out. Anyway, all right. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure. Really my pleasure. You guys do a great job, by the way.
Thank you so much.
Listen, I've been on a lot of shows, and I've had some really bad interviewers. You guys were very good.
Oh, awesome. Thanks. Hear that, people?
Likewise. You're a great guest.
Likewise.
Yes,
we enjoyed having you. And
I
cannot wait to announce the date that you're coming back. I mean,
it's going to be a lot of fun.
That's going to be amazing.
Honored for that.
Well, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
That was really amazing. Dawn, thank you for bringing him out here.
Yes.
This is amazing. And we want you on too next time, okay?
Next time, I promise.
All right, everybody. Peace out. This is Disturbed and Confused, episode 22. See ya.
Bye, everyone. See you next week.
All right, we're off.
That was great.
Are we? You can tell. Okay.
You guys are
all right.
do a good job.
Great.
Very good.